Hello and welcome to another unboxing. This time we haven't got folio games or small box games. This is a large box, but not necessarily a large game. This is an Attrition of Souls World War I strategic skill by Compass Games. Turn it over. I'll let you read the blurb and look at the map, and it's again, it's another one of these innovative type maps that I've not quite seen before. I've seen similar but not quite the same as this. It's not, you haven't got thousands and thousands of counters to replay the First World War. You've got a very limited number of counters. There is card play in it. It looks good. It holds a lot of promise, and it you know, you can basically fight out the First World War using this, the whole thing. Well, in Europe, in an hour and a half. So they say. I've not tried yet to find out. So come out a bit. What do we get in the box? Top one. Right. Well, I've bagged everything up. I'm ready for playing, but these are all the counters, and believe me, there's not many. It might look a lot, but there's not. I've just bagged them up in individual nations and things. We've got the US ones there. So you see, the US have got an artillery, some troops, a couple of aircraft. And that's about it. That's all they need. And none of the others have got much more. And you get reinforcements by pulling out of these bags. The chips will go into a bag once they become available. The brown one is for the Entente, and the grey one is for the Central Powers, the Germans, Austrians, Austro-Hungarians, etc. A nice big heavy dice, 5 of each colour, not opened yet. Then we've got the cards, which I haven't opened, but there's not many cards, just a few. And then we've got the rule book. Right, so you can see. Now this comes in at 35, 36 pages, is that right? Maybe a bit more. In at 40 pages, front and back. But this is not a complicated game. And this rule book really does explain it well. I had no problem at all reading this and understanding everything clearly. It's kudos to Compass Games, because they've really made a good job of this, of explaining it. They've taken a huge conflict and scaled it down so you can fit it on an ordinary table and play out the First World War, in a couple of hours. It's clever how they've done it all and made it all work. And I think there's an example of play. Yeah, there is at the end. Idea of the map there and what happens. So the rule book, you can't fault them on that. Now you get. Just take it all out. An Attrition of Souls, the turn sequence. Not a lot there. A nice big card. You get 2 of them, and on the back you get the basic game, Then we can introduce tanks if you want as a special ability. Jet Commando, Stormtrooper special ability. You can introduce French and US elite infantry, trenches of course. That's that. Now here is the setup cards for the Entente. So you can see you're not going to get many counters. Serbia's only getting 2, France 3, well 9 infantry, 2 artillery and 1 aircraft. That's their army. And they start in the pouch, which we showed you earlier. And there's all the other countries. Nobody starts with a huge amount of troops. And you don't know what you're going to draw out the bag. And, you know, are you going to pull out some, you know, elite units, or are you going to get some Russian units that were not quite so good? You just don't know. So it really is look at the draw, and you are drawing from a bag. Now this board rather, I don't know how I can get this out just for you to see. But it's a hard, as you can see, it's a hard mounted board. Yeah, I knew I'd be upside down. 2 choices, but I picked the wrong one, didn't I? Right, let's get it over there. It's pretty big. Yeah, back up a bit. It's pretty big, but it fits on a reasonable size table and still leaves space behind. Over here you've got a little inset where we've got the USA represented, the southern states here, Mexico. These are neutral, obviously at the beginning of the turn. Each nation has its capital, and that's where all the troops have to enter. So, for instance, Paris, all French units have to start the board there, and it's got an industrial factor of 2 which comes into play. Rome, Italy's still neutral at the beginning of the game. We've got Vienna there for Austria-Hungary, Berlin further up. And so it goes on. The British can come in London, or they can come in down here at Alexandria. They've got 2 choices. I think they're the only nation who have 2 choices. And so they can put troops down here in the Middle East, presumably to help them defend against the Turks here, who could come down through here and into Alexandria. So the British can put troops there. We've got Kingdom of Greece as well. They have the troops, but they're neutral at the moment. And then we have this turn sequence, and you put the counters on here as instructed, and then when you get to that turn, the counters there go into one of those 2 bags. So you don't know what you're going to get, because there'll be counters already in there, plus the ones that you're adding. And each time, so spring 1914, fall 1914, spring 1915, and so on. So you see, it's not huge. Not huge at all. It's going to be simple to play, which is what I wanted. A game that is playable without having thousands of counters and dozens of rule books. You know, I want something that I can actually play and enjoy. And I think this, Attrition of Souls, is going to give me that experience. So, that was Attrition of Souls by Compass Games. A larger one than normal, but not large by counter or complexity size, just larger physically. And beautiful map and board and counters, huge big counters, and I like that, and lots of space to move around. It's clear, it's concise, you know what you're doing with it basically. Yeah, it's not going to be for everybody. It is really high level, you know, up at the top grand strategy. We're not going down to divisions and brigades and all that sort of stuff on this. This is we're just skimming across the top here but you'd have to get a game of this scope to be able to play in an hour and a half. So, well, I hope you enjoyed that. I think I've got one more unboxing to do, and then that's everything. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.